Hobbies. I don't have hobbies. I just realized that I was thinking of video ideas to talk about for today. Next time I'm gonna talk about my hobbies, and I realized I don't have any hobbies. The reason I don't want to talk about hobbies though is because I did a really good video I think a while back, like 3 months, no, way longer. I think like a year ago about hobbies and how I don't have any hobbies, and it's because I don't schedule my time properly and time management and all that. Um, However, I'm gonna talk about it again because I realized I don't have hobbies, which is weird because I usually do have hobbies. I guess this could be considered a hobby, but I don't like to consider it a hobby. I also like to take photographs, but I feel like photographs are in correlation with this project, so it's not also a hobby. I think it's more of like an individual project thing, which may also be a hobby. I don't know. I think it really depends on how I define hobby because if I define hobby as like projects I work on, then that is a hobby. It's like this whole Project Phillips thing is a hobby. This like if I'm building a project or with like in video omniverse, if I'm researching something, that's a hobby. But I think the way I define hobbies more so is like it's more so leisure, which those still count as leisure, but those are more so like intentional skill development. Whereas hobbies for me is like okay, I go on a walk outside. I'm not trying to become like the best walker, even though I'm pretty good at walking. Um, I go on a walk outside. I draw. Like those aren't to become like the better. It's just for me to do to leisure, right? I don't think I've had that for a long time. Let me actually grab something. Um, this is gonna be my most shameful item. This is the Iliad and the Odyssey. I bought this book I think a month and a half ago. I still have not opened it. I've opened it, but I haven't read anything. That's why I've read like the preface, and then I just stopped. I don't know. I'm scared 'cause I feel like I really, really want to read this book, but I just can't get into it because like it's really, really daunting. But I feel like when I read this book, that would be a really cool hobby to pick up. And just reading in general. I really liked reading. I remember I used to read webtoons. That used to be really fun when I was younger. Like I had like the comedic webtoons I used to read every now and then on the school bus, and then I also did a webtoon with my brother, so that was also fun. But I don't know. I think hobbies really will be nice. I remember I was talking. Duke Quantum had they had a cohort meeting. I was talking about the original one of the people from the original cohort, and she does animation. Like she had a similar background. I kind of talked about this a while ago, but then she also like does animation as a hobby, or I know she does drawing as a hobby. I was really envious because I really want to do that as well. I was like, if I could just manage my time better, I kind of like a drawing tablet like right here where my phone is, and just like draw my free time, just like do cool stuff like that. But I also feel like there's a lot of stuff I want to do, right, and I have to do, in the sense that I've taken up more stuff than I think I should. So then if I was to like I don't even have like the when space frees up, there's that space is actually meant to be filled in automatically with something I'm ignoring, right? So I don't even know if a hobby like drawing would be useful. Um, the gym, I'm just inconsistent. I feel like the gym is always a good hobby. I think it's a necessary one. It's not like I think it's necessary because I don't want to be someone like in 40 years where I have to look back and I wish I went to the gym more. So I really wish I was more consistent with that. Um, well, yeah, I don't know. I think it's really just time management. I know, like, I know my time is about to free up massively as I go on Christmas break. But even then, that's like a new location. And I don't know. I'm just gonna stay in front of a big TV, watch a couple shows, and do stuff like that. But man, I don't know. I don't know. I think maybe, I think maybe I could just like do it iteratively, or maybe I could just try and reframe how I see it. Like when like at the start I said Project Fill Up this thing or coding projects don't necessarily count as a hobby, but like technically they could. Like those mini hackathons I talked about a while back and I promised myself I was gonna do like every week, then never did again. Those could be like a thing I do weekly. That could be a hobby of mine. Just do mini hackathons and like I use base 34. I really, really want to try it out. My brother, he's been using it to make some cool stuff, so I want to try base 34. Um that would be awesome. But maybe that could be a hobby. Maybe like photography could be a hobby I take up more because I do take photographs, even though they're not meant to be like the best. And more so just in correlation with this, I think that could be another thing I do in my free time. Just like go outside, take more photographs, just for the pure purpose of being a photograph on my phone. Maybe even get a camera. That could be interesting. I could do one of those things, like one of those indie films where they have like those camcorders. I think it's called camcorder. Maybe it's a recorder. Where they have the camcorders record little moments in life. Oh my days. Actually, really good movie. Michael B. Jordan. I forget every other cast member, but it's like meant to be a superhero thing where they find this asteroid and they touch it, and then they all get like all three of them get powers. It's like the scariest thing ever. Like, I feel like in terms of horror movies, that's like one of the best ones because like it didn't rely on like jump scare horror, which I don't really like because jump scare horror actually gets tiring after a while. It's like okay, you jump at them, well now what happens? They escape, you almost get them, whatever. But like this was like really really daunting. I don't know if I'm saying daunting, but like it was really really scary. I think it was like something where like I had to go watch like a comedic show after. If I could find the name, I would. But I think that was a really good movie, and that has nothing to do with what I'm saying. But I just realized movies are my hobby. I like watching movies, so I do have hobbies. I just think I have to better allocate time and be more intentional with the hobbies. Like I said a year ago, I think as time frees up, as exam season wraps up, I have more time to restructure. I can do stuff, and I've proven to myself that that is something that can work. Like I have my 3B program, which is like every morning I wake up, make my bed, do a Bible study, and then eat breakfast. It doesn't always work the best, but I do it every day, right? At least I try to do it every day, and that's a really good system. So I think having a system for my hobbies will also be really good. Um, I just have to figure out. Right now, all my time is being allocated to my exams because I just want to ace those and leave them there. But as Christmas comes in, I'll definitely figure out something and see what to do, especially as I enter 2026. But besides that, I have nothing else to say. So have a great day.